Here's a segment from a recent Gun Talk radio episode. You can listen to all the Gun Talk radio podcasts however you tune in, or check out guntalk.com for more. One of the companies we love being associated with is Brownells. Great family-owned company, long-term company, and basically just have always taken care of people incredibly well. Their customer service is second to none. Joining us right now from Brownells is Ryan Ripp. Ryan, how are you, sir?
Tom, I'm quite well. Just off the motorcycle, a long ride today. So,
oh, excellent.
I'm in a good mood.
Got that motorcycle smile going, don't you?
You got it. That's right. I think it's the same thing for you, but with airplanes.
Yeah, exactly. Anything we can use to turn money into noise. So that's kind of the whole
exactly
deal.
Right.
You know, all of our cars, our motorized vehicles, the guns, and everything else, we just turn money into noise. So I want to touch on something before we talk about the things that Brownell's been doing from a product standpoint and everything else. You guys just made an announcement that I wanted to give you a chance to pass along, making a contribution to the Second Amendment Foundation. Why don't you just pick that up and run with it?
Yeah, sure, Tom, and thanks for having us on. We donated just under $60,000 to Second Amendment Foundation here recently. Really, that was in response to when Washington announced that they were going to limit standard capacity magazines. We decided that we needed to act just very much like we've done in California. But so we put together a deal. I think it was back in March when we heard when we got wind that they were going to try to restrict standard capacity magazines, that we would donate a portion of the sales from our Brownells branded standard capacity magazines. And so over the course of a few months, that percentage came up to just under $60,000. So real happy to support the folks in Washington, and that money is earmarked for Second Amendment Foundation's efforts to try to fight that new law in place out there in Washington.
That is terrific. I mean, obviously, this is not the first time that Brownells has been involved in helping fund gun rights through various groups.
Yeah, no, certainly not. We're real proud of a long history of supporting gun rights, and one of our newest things is to kind of get involved in specific fights, right? So when California, I think it's the Becerra case is still going on in the court system. We've got in on that one, and
right.
So we've got a proud history of getting involved and trying to make a difference where we can. I think it's important, for us in this industry to make sure we band together and do what we can do to fight, as because we make our livings in this industry, and we want our consumers and America at large to continue to be free. And you well know, Tom, the Second Amendment is under attack right now from multiple angles. They continue to get more creative. And so we've got to stand strong and together.
It's an interesting point you make. It may have been lost on some of the folks. They continue to get more creative. They go at this from a lot of different directions. From the legal side, they're filing lawsuits like crazy. They're trying to overturn the Protection of Lawful Commerce and Arms Act. They are actually going after gun companies for their marketing, saying this is a violation of FTC regulations, saying we're going to ignore the whole Second Amendment. We're going to get you on your marketing practices, trying to do the whole Joe Camel thing and ban all advertising for guns. There's no end to what they will try to do, because the ultimate goal, and occasionally they will actually admit it out loud, is for them to ban all ownership of guns. And anybody that doesn't believe that just has not been paying attention. Is that a fair statement?
No, Tom, you're absolutely right. I mean, I would encourage your audience to go and look, and you don't have to watch the entire 6 hours as I did, but I do marketing in this industry, so my eyes are quite peeled into what their playbook is. But to go to, I don't remember, C-SPAN or somewhere on their YouTube page and watch that hearing with the CEOs. I know Marty Daniel at Daniel Defense, Chris Kaloy, Bert Ruger testified. I mean, the left really rolled out their playbook on what they're trying to do. But to your point, yeah, they're attacking PLCAA, which is the Protection of Lawful Commerce and Arms Act that you mentioned. But they're trying to attack companies and their marketing practices and going after the PLCAA really lays out 3 exceptions, and they're going after what's called the predicate exception, which is, companies that, market irresponsibly, which, obviously none of us intend to do or try to do, but boy, that's where they're that's where they're coming after companies right now. And to your point, it's coming at you through, absolute loopholes and, regulatory and all that sort of thing. So people who think that just because their electors are elected and they might be on their side doesn't necessarily mean that the bureaucracy is.
Well, I hear people say, well, we've got the Second Amendment. That'll protect us. Well, yeah, no, it actually doesn't. It never has. We can use it, and it is a useful tool. But if you're not in the fight every single day and paying attention to what's going on, there are people who are making tons of money off of this, people who are spending tens of millions of dollars in an effort to ban all guns, and they'll just take these little bitty slivers, a chip at a time. We'll do the marketing, and then we'll go after this gun, and then we'll go after this gun, and we'll pass this law out of Congress, or actually out of the House right now. We'll see what happens with it when it gets to the Senate. But there's just an awful lot of stuff going on out there. It's quite the mess, and try to count on the courts to try to undo that, I'm not sure we want that last-ditch effort to be our only hope.
Well, no, that's absolutely fair. I mean, as well as anyone, Tom, the courts are going to take years to play out. And so, what rights suffer in the interim, right? Over the course of the years, it really is it's a sad state of affairs to watch. And, and then, as somebody who came from outside the industry and has been in it for a long time, and I say that this industry, and I don't care if it's competitors or manufacturers or anywhere, it's filled with the absolute best people, and you've been around a while. Tom, you know that, and we all consider ourselves friends at the end of the day, and there's a certain brotherhood that goes on in this industry, and to watch it be attacked and misrepresented is something that frankly I take personally, and I know you do too.
You weren't here, but we've had a couple of calls in the last couple of hours of people saying, I had a Walther, I had this gun, I had a SIG, and I had a problem with it, and I contacted them because they always call me and say, well, what should I do? Should I take it to my gunsmith? And I always say, no. Give the company that made it a chance to make it right. And so they said, well, I contacted Walther, and they told me to send it back. They sent it back to me in a week, and it works perfectly. I sent it back to SIG. It came back to me in a week. It works perfectly, and there was no charge. That's become actually the norm throughout the industry, hasn't it?
Yeah, no, absolutely. Again, it goes back to the people, right? And the people in this industry are top notch. Do we make mistakes? We certainly do. I mean, our BRN 180 in 762 by 39 came out with a couple of flaws, and we're actually sending it back and having them retool a bit. So we make mistakes, and but one thing I do tell people in this industry is our customers are amazing people too. And as long as you tell the truth and you're upfront with them, they're pretty forgiving. And so, pretty grateful to be in an industry like ours.
So what's going on right now? I'm getting, of course, I'm on the email list too because I'm a Brownells customer, and I get these emails that says, hey, we've got primers. And you go in and you go, oh, wow, look, large rifle primers. Oh, they're gone. It's like, I mean, it really is that fast. If you're not like primed, ready to go, we're still in that market on some things, but on other things, it appears that the availability has gotten much better.
Yeah, you're absolutely right about that. Primers and powder, that sort of thing. We get in on a really regular basis. We've got a great relationship with the folks at Federal Vista up there, and there's a few others that keep us in pretty good supply. But I would encourage people to sign up for the alert me's. They do work, and that's one of the reasons that they. That's if a product is out of stock, you can get an automated alert from us. Once it gets checked in at the warehouse and hits the web system, it'll tell you that it's there. That's one of the reasons it goes out so quickly. But yeah, to your point, I mean, it's kind of we're kind of all over the place with regard to availability, right? I mean, 9mm ammo, 5.56 ammo, that sort of thing is pretty good and in stock. But you're looking at powders and primers and shotgun shells. It's still kind of hand to mouth. When you get it, they're gone. So it's just it's kind of a weird market adjustment happening right now for sure.
It is. So what's going on with your BRN series?
Yeah, so the BRN series is still cooking along. Those things come in and they go out really quickly. But as I mentioned, we launched the 762 by 39 BRN 180s, and we thought we were pretty happy with the testing. But some of that 762 by 39 ammo, depending on the manufacturer, can get a little testy from time to time.
Yep.
That people, you're well aware of that, and So what we're seeing is not the reliability that we want. And regrettably, a few of them got out there in consumer hands. But Brownells has a lifetime warranty on almost everything we sell. So folks send them back, and we're gonna take care of those folks and make them right. But basically, the line manager just said, "Hey, you know what? Let's get them back in and let's go back in for testing." So if you have folks out there that want to or would like to send them back, if they were able to get one of the very few that are out there in hands, they're certainly welcome to get a hold of our call center, and we'll get them back if they're having trouble.
Well, and that's all you can ask. Look, if you guys make it right, because stuff happens, and we all know stuff happens. It's really what happens after that and how you treat people that counts.
No, that's absolutely right. I mean, that just be upfront, honest, and people in general are good, but I like to say that the people, that customers and anybody I know who's affiliated or has interest in this industry is a couple steps beyond good in my experience. So, but yeah, to your point, we'll own it, and make it right at the end of the day.
Well, and so are the people at Brownells, really good people. Ryan Rep, thank you so much. Thank you for your donation to the Second Amendment Foundation, what you've been doing there, and all the other gun rights things you do, in addition to making great products.
Our pleasure, Tom. Thank you.
All right, you take care. Brownells.com. Check it out. Good people, good stuff.